Hello everybody, this is Durgaya, and I'm here to talk to you about the weekly vendor review for weapons for the week of April the 11th through the 18th, 2017. The music you're hearing in the background is from the Destiny 2 soundtrack and is available part of the Destiny dynamic theme if you pre-order on the PlayStation Store. Here's my information. You know what to do with it. Like, follow, subscribe. But I don't want to stick with that too long. Let's get right into this. We're going to start over at the New Monarchy, which has a decent roll this week on the auto rifle, the Assembly 2. This sucker comes with Sure Shot and the reflex scope. Sure Shot's a lot more open, so I'd probably use that if I'm going to use this kind of a weapon. It has extended mag, which is my preference over lightweight. The weapon handling speed that you might get from lightweight is non-existent. So this only gives you agility, and most people aren't going to use this weapon for PvE. They're going to use this for PvP, where agility matters less. But having extra ammo means that you might get 2 kills, or 3 even, with a single mag, as opposed to having to reload. Perfect balance is probably my preference here. I'd probably run this with auto rifle reloader gloves. But spray and play is available if you're going to run the magazine dry. This will synergize with the lightweight perk. And of course, hidden hand, which will help you get some more of those bullets onto the face of your enemy and help decrease the time to kill. This is a great, very forgiving weapon if you can get into the range that's appropriate for it. It has the fastest time to kill with all body shots. This entire archetype does, of any weapon in Destiny. And it has a very strong time to kill with all headshots. So you're going to get a good mix. As you can see, that good old Destiny bug that was introduced with the Age of Triumph is still active. All right, moving on. The Impeacher is seemingly always a very solid choice. This one has Sure Shot. Flared Wagwell is probably what I'd pick. Sidearms reload really quick anyway, so you're okay with either of these choices. Lightweight here. It does give you a little bit of ability to clear obstacles and get behind cover a little quicker. I might pick it over Flared Magwell on a sidearm. Fitted Stock or Army of One, both decent choices for PvP. And Hidden Hand, of course. Get more of those shots on target. Get this thing's time to kill down. Sidearms, as you know, are impressive, but definitely getting more shots on head are going to be, especially now that they've nerfed sidearm special ammo, is going to be more important. All right. Remember, let's get out of here and go check in with the Crucible Quartermaster. Good old Archite 9940.
Yes.
Also, I would pass on that for PvE in general. The Palindrome. This looks like it might be pretty exciting. Let's check it out. All right, first off, steady hand. There's Sure Shot. So Sure Shot scope's excellent. Outlaw and Partial Refund. Probably go with Outlaw if you're confident with a hand cannon. Partial Refund if you're going to be team firing. Is going to be excellent. Hammer Forged or Explosive Rounds. It's a tough choice. I probably would go with Hammer Forged, the way hand cannons are performing in the Crucible right now. Explosive Rounds if you're going to run this in PvE. And Luck in the Chamber. This can take this from a 3-shot hand cannon to a 2-shot hand cannon in PvE, and it will one-shot a lot of red bar tier 2 enemies like a Vandal. I might strongly consider that. It's not the best roll I've seen for the Palindrome, but it's a decent roll. Oh, and by the way, you might be wondering why these are blacked out. It's because my primaries are full on this character. Each new day, I'm not a big fan of fusion rifles, but I think this one is a good one with the reflex sight, and spray and play is always strong. It's really a tough choice here in the middle. I love stability because you want to get a tight grouping, but I hate hurting range in order to get it, which is the main balance that a fusion rifle has compared to a shotgun. So if I pick this up, I'd be forced probably to go to enhanced battery. And hidden hand is always good. That also will help you get a tight grouping. This is a very decent roll, probably a B. But if you have, there are much better examples in this archetype of a fusion rifle. For newer players who are trying to play catch up, yes. For most players, no. The machine gun, chaotic neutral. These are really solid. With field choke, life support, perfect balance, and hidden hand. You have a very solid heavy machine gun here. I'd give that a B+ as well. And something wicked. I do love the name of this thing in the flavor text, but it looks like the perks are very lackluster. Unless you're desperate for an arc launcher, I'd pass on this. And that's it for the Crucible Quartermaster. So let's head over to the Vanguard.
Requisite. Need something from the Vanguard?
Alrighty. So the Continental, which is kind of like a Monte Carlo class, this looks like it might be pretty decent. Let's check out what we got. The scopes are mediocre. Rodeo and Hipfire, both good choices. Perfect balance, an excellent choice for any auto rifle. Appended magazines, middle of the road, and counterbalance. I think that this is a very solid auto rifle. This is a B+. If it had a solid scope, this roll with Sure Shot or Red Dot OAS would be an A weapon. All right, moving on. We have the Parthian Shot. This archetype has gotten a recent boost, making it capable of a 2-pulse kill. Of course, that requires all headshots or some kind of damage boosting perk, which this does not have. Reflex sight, steady hand, and OAG. Out of those, you'd go with a reflex. Take a knee actually synchronizes really well with this because this is a pulse rifle that you can use as a counter snipe weapon because of the 2-pulse kill capability. Perfect balance is excellent. I'd probably pass on rifled barrel. There are very few PvP maps where you're going to need the range of rifled barrel. But if you do find that you need the range on a very large PvP map, say something like Widow's Court or Skyshock, you can counteract that reload speed loss with some pulse rifle loader gloves. And then counterbalance. That counterbalance as a perk manipulates the side to side of a pulse rifle or any rifle, whereas perfect balance decreases the vertical recoil. This is a very decent weapon. This is not going to be optimized for your 2-shot kills. It doesn't have crowd control. It doesn't have any of the other feeding frenzy or anything else that's going to boost the damage enough to make those 2 pulse kills reliable. But it's definitely a strong introduction to this class of pulse rifle. The Bone Crusher. This is a ridiculously high impact machine gun. Your bones, I will crush them. I love the flavor text. I like this gun, but the ammo capacity is just not doing it for me most of the time. Probably in this case, I'd probably go to the Smart Drift Control. Feeding Frenzy, not very useful in Crucible. You're not going to get that much ammo for this. So I'd probably go with Guerrilla Fighter. I don't want to reduce the magazine size, so I'll probably go with rifle barrel here, and crowd control, because this thing can mop up Guardians and sixes when you've got any kind of damage increase to it. So, fun machine gun. Generally speaking, this archetype, it's really only useful in PvP, mostly in sixes, because the time to kill is actually, despite the high impact, not that great for a machine gun. All right, let's check out what Dead Orbit has.
We must prepare.
Moving on, the Keystone. This is a high impact, slow rate of fire. This is almost a sniper rifle, a scout rifle archetype. The way I tend to run this is in PvE when I have long range encounters. So, like for example, the bridge during Crota. And for that, I probably would go, well, at the bridge, I'd probably use reflex. But the FLA 5 is actually my preferred scope for most encounters. This is a standoff weapon. I'm not going to use this when I'm in people's faces. I typically would run something like this with a sniper rifle and a sword in case people got close, so that I have persistent long-range whacking powers. Armor-piercing rounds, I'd definitely go with quick draw unless I'm running quick draw on a Blade Dancer or Viper Totemic Ophidian Aspect gauntlets on a Warlock. Perfect balance, very good. Third eye, I pretty much don't take this on a weapon anymore. And crowd control. Not so great. Against your tier 1 enemies, you get a kill and subsequent shots. You can body shot a thrall with this in the raid. This is a B weapon. All right. The Bitter Edge. Again, I don't like this archetype of sniper rifle. Ambush. So we have a decent scope here with the ambush. It's not my favorite. Armor piercing and snapshot. I'm going to go with snapshot. Hammerforge and mulligan. For most players, this is a good PvP weapon. The maps aren't big enough to have range drop off with a sniper rifle, so I'd go with mulligan. And unflinching. This wouldn't be a bad sniper rifle to pick up if you wanted to learn sniping in Destiny, because it's going to be forgiving with mulligan. For 99% of players, at the last 4 months of Destiny, 5 months of Destiny, I'd probably skip this. But if you're someone who's gearing up for Destiny 2, you really want to learn the mechanics and feel of sniping in Destiny, this is a good starter sniper. And the rocket launcher. Unto dust. This is not a great launcher, but this is the best one I've seen so far this year. No, this week. So Warhead Verniers, Field Scout, which is going to increase the carried ammo. Spray and Play, which is going to get you faster reload, and Grenades and Horseshoes will make this into a B+ Crucible launcher.
See you again, I'll.
So let's head on up to Future War Cult and finish off the vid.
Good to see you.
The Waltz. Okay, this might be a very deadly one here. Reflex, steady hand. So the reflex scope is excellent. High caliber rounds, excellent. So is hip fire. Perfect balance. Would not pick third eye. And counterbalance. This is an A- pulse rifle. This is a fast fire rate. It's got nothing that's gonna hurt the magazine size. I would definitely pick this up. if you're looking for a good pulse rifle. Thank you very much for watching. Here's my info once again. If you are looking for me elsewhere on the net, you know how to find me. Please do consider subscribing, liking, commenting to help support the channel. I'm a very small channel, and I'm trying to bring you good content on a decent basis, so I hope that you'll consider that. Thank you once again for watching. Viewers make the channel, and I will see you Starside Guardians.